Where should we be putting our ikar energy, effort, and kaiches during this time? And zok the mefarshim, if you want to know what a Aseret Yemei Teshuva is all about, and what we should be doing during this time, in order to feel secure and confident that we're going to have the most amazing Gavaldik year, a year full of open love, bracha, chesed, and rachamim, with nisim gluyim and Yeshua samala midarach hateva. Let's see what they added during davening, that we say over and over and over throughout Aseret Yemei Teshuva, and you will see clearly the message and lesson, what it's coming here to teach us. Throughout Aseret Yemei Teshuva, we say over and over and over the Yud Gimel Midos Harachamim, and we say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what are you all about? You are a Racham. You're full of compassion. You're full of mercy. You're full of pity. Now let's stop for a second and think of somebody that when you would have an issue and a problem, you would turn to him because he's full of compassion. He's full of pity. He'll have so much rachmanis on you. Think about that person and say, that's just a mashal of what my loving, caring Father, Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Rabbeinu Shalom, is all about. And then continue on and say, V'rav Chesed, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're oozing with giving. You don't stop giving. You just give more and more and more. And then stop and think of somebody that when you need a favor, you're going to turn to that person because he loves to give you. He'll give it with such a smile. Whatever you ask him, he'll give you double and triple. And then say, that's just a muscle of who my loving, caring Father, Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Rabbeinu Shalom, is all about. And then go to Naisei Avain. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Michael us for all our Averis. Stop and think of somebody that when you would ask that person Mechila, he would play it down, he would say, no big deal, I didn't even think about it, I don't even remember it, it's long forgotten, don't worry. And then say that's just a muscle of what my loving, caring Father, Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Rabbeinu Shalom, is all about. And the more we view HaKadosh Baruch Hu as someone that's full of love, full of compassion, full of rachmanis, full of chesed, the more HaKadosh Baruch Hu showers a person with open love, open bracha, chesed and rachamim, with nisim gluyim and Yeshua samala midarach hateva. And therefore, like the Rabbi Avigdor Miller zt'l, before a person turns to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Rabbeinu Shalom, for whatever you would like, instead of going with the attitude and thinking, for example, let's say you have to ask someone for a favor, that you know he's not really interested, he doesn't really want to give it to you, he doesn't really care about you, you have to squeeze his arm and turn it this way and turn it that way. When it comes to your loving, caring Father, Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Rabbeinu Shalom, and you turn to Hashem for anything you would like, you should go with the exact opposite attitude. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves me more than I love myself. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants only one thing, for me to be happy, for me to be upbeat, freilich, shikar from simcha. And therefore, of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to give me whatever I would like. And the more you turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu with that attitude, by realizing and understanding that when you're turning to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you don't have to go with the attitude that I have to convince HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kav HaBitachon, and I have to Kav HaBitachon twist his hand this way and that way to get it. Chas v'shalom. Rather, you view HaKadosh Baruch Hu as your loving, caring Father, that he's working with you. He's on the same team. He's oozing with love, oozing with bracha, oozing with chesed, and oozing with rachamim. And whatever you ask for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he wants to give you more and more and more. So what is HaKadosh Baruch Hu waiting for? He's waiting for us to view Him in that exact light. Because when we view HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the attitude that He's our loving, caring Father, and He just wants to give and doesn't stop giving, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Moli Chesed and Rachamim, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, now you open up all the pipelines of all the Shefa Bracha, and you will see open Chesed and Rachamim with Nisim Gluyim and Yeshuas L'malam Midachateva. A Yiddish mama just left me a message. She said her Yiddish Tochter came for Shabbos with her little baby. And her Yiddish Tochter said, Mommy, my baby never smiles. Could you get her to smile? And she said, give me the baby. And she saw the baby was not focusing. There was no eye contact. And whatever she tried to do to make the baby focus, he was looking the other direction. And she realized why the baby doesn't smile. So she turns her Yiddish Tochter and says, do you know why your baby doesn't smile? Because your baby's not focusing. And all of a sudden, her daughter started to get nervous. Oy, I have to get her checked out. There could be something wrong. Where should I go? Should I go to a specialist? And I said, you know what you should do? Go to your loving, caring Father, because Baruch Hu, Bitachon, and say, Rachamim, Chanon, Rav Chesed. And she called me back Sunday. And she said, Mommy, I did exactly that. I said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're my loving, caring Father. You want me to be so happy. And therefore, you want my child to smile. You want my child to focus. And all of a sudden, I saw my child started focusing. I saw my child started smiling for the first time. How do we understand such a story? And by living every step of your life, by labeling that whatever is going on in your life is coming from one source and one source only. All your nisyonis and all your challenges are coming because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a Racham. He's coming because He's a Chanon. All your situations is because He's a Rav Chesed. It's like the Chavetz Chaim, when you label your situation that everything you're going through is Chesed, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that Chos will turn it into open love, open bracha, open Chesed and Rachamim with Nisim Gluyim and Yeshuas L'malam Midachateva. A very, very chashuving man by the name of Yisrael Meir Hirsch. He just left me a story. He said going back a few months ago, he was under contract. He wanted a specific house. But last minute, something didn't work out. And at first, it was such a letdown. He really wanted to go and buy this house. But then he said if it didn't fall through, if it just fell through, it's because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a Racham. It's because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a Chanon. It's because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a Rav Chesed. And he said, this must be coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu's love. And he said a few months later, his Rebbitzin got a different job. And right afterwards, they found a different house. And they realized that the house that they found was right next to where his Rebbitzin goes to work. And if they would have got the first house, it would have been too far for her. And they saw how everything just fell into place. What they thought was chayshich, that the house didn't go through, was really with the schos of labeling everything as Racham, with the schos of labeling everything as Chanon, with the schos of labeling everything as Chesed. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, because that's how you view me, you will see you have a year full of open love, open Racham, open Chanon, open Chesed. And that is the avoid of a Seres Yimei Teshuva, to stop and think of who we picture as the nicest person in the world. Who is the person that doesn't stop giving? And say that's just a marshal of who my loving, caring Father, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Bitachon is all about.